people, cars are driving crazy, so we kind of let people know what's going on, like, hey, watch behind y'all, cars are coming, and etc. And if you're a marshal, always wearing an armband distinguishing yourself as a marshal. You always want to make sure you have some bright color, so they'll know who to listen to. A bullhorn is a good thing to use too. Also a flag, something that will distinguish you from everybody else. We had hats on, and another guy that was out there had kind of like lime green shorts, so they knew who he was, and he was also taller. So, and the marshal always avoid carrying sign. You don't want to have sign, so to be distracted. You always want to be hand free so you could direct traffic and stuff like that, and be responsible for negotiating with the police for First Amendment. So you always want to have that contact person who to talk to the cops. If anything happened, they should direct you to that person, so he'd be able to negotiate with the cops of what's going on. What marshals do on a march? Front marshal, lead at a slow pace, keep march moving steadily, watch for obstruction, help facilitate civil disobedience if any occur. And side marshal, block traffic at an intersection, facing cars, watch perimeter, help facilitate civil disobedience if any occur. And back marshal, bring up the rear, set the pace, make sure no one gets behind. That was what we lacked, though. They didn't have neither one. So I had, Dollar had to play first, had to play front marshal, I had to kind of play middle and rear. I kind of had to play both. But as soon as I show them what the role is, they picked up on it and they follow it. And, I got people moving. And what to do when you're at a street intersection. Marshals block traffic by forming a line across intersection street. Many times the police will block the traffic. In Baton Rouge, we didn't really have none when we came to an intersection. I kind of stepped up, me and Darlo, and she did too. Sandra kind of stopped traffic, kind of hold traffic. When the red light got on, so we got in front, we kind of lined up while the other person's still walking by, so we stopped traffic and, hold our fists up, traffic stop, while the protesters keep walking by the intersection. Okay, groups of marshals need to get to the intersection first. That's what we did, we got to the intersection, we stopped. And a group of 4 or 5 wait for the red light. When the cars have stopped, and quickly slide out, holding hands and face cars, which is what we did, kind of letting people know people are coming, so kind of stop that. When a march has gone by, don't dissolve until there is another red light to protect the marshal. That's what we kind of like that because there was more people. Like I said, we didn't have a rare marshal, so we kind of had to wait for other people that was behind to catch up with the rest of the line. So that kind of slowed the movement a little bit. And when you're rushing to get to the next intersection, try to make it seem as you're not panicking or creating a riot. I think we did a really great job in Baltimore of not panicking. We kind of just slide into the next intersection, stop traffic, let people cross the street, and we'll move on to the next. What marshals don't do. Don't ever panic. Once you panic, other people just panic. We've seen that a lot of times. When somebody panic, everybody just panic. So always pay attention to that. Don't panic, stay calm, and just keep your eyes open. And don't do the police jobs at all. The police are there to do their jobs, so let them do it. If you need to talk to the police, just make sure they have somebody that's already there to talk to them. So we're not doing any police jobs. So let the police do what they do, and we do what we do. The role of the police at an action. The police are there to protect from property from damaging, also to contain demonstrators, people from making commotion, which, you know, they're not there to protect us. We can make sure that the business is not being destroyed or anything else is not being destroyed or any other things that from happening. So we let them do that. We are not the police. What do you need to know dealing with the police and other problems? What legal and not an action? Moving your picket on a public sidewalk with signs and chanting. A sidewalk march with signs and chanting. Heading out leaflet as people pass by without blocking any way, which will, you know, you can always give out people information. Make sure you're not blocking anything, so whenever people come, just hand them out, move out your way. Just make sure, keep your eyes open for any upcoming traffic, because a lot of people, most of the time, they don't care. They just want to come by and just drive by real fast. What a permit is needed for? Most likely just for sounds and just make sure it's not loud enough. But most of the time, if you have sounds, just make sure that you keep it at a lower level so everybody can hear you, not too loud. And also cars too. You always want to you don't want to have the music blasting all the time so people can hear you and stay focused. And sometimes also the police will confiscate it if they feel like you're causing too much commotion. So most likely they'll take your speakers. So keep that aware. So marching in the street or street closure, you need a permit for that. Most likely, the police, we don't really want to ask for a permit. Most likely the police will want to know, what are you doing it? What are you doing this for? They want to know too much information while you're asking for a permit. So we don't ask for a permit. We pay taxes, we are taking over the street, we are shutting shit down. That's just point blank period. Police bluff and stall. Stop, stand, and wait. Stop and sit. Okay. Tell the cops it's our legal right. It's your legal right while you're taking over the street. So you don't have to explain it to them nothing. So we have that right to demonstrate. So always remember that. Ask, what laws are we breaking? You want to know what law we're breaking? Ask the officer, can you please explain to me why are you stopping us from demonstrating? Always ask that. And how are we breaking the law? Ask them, how are we breaking it? So, just make them do their job. Make sure they explain to you, why are you breaking the law? And police will necessarily not tell you the truth. So they'll come up with all this other BS to try to make it seem like they're doing their job okay. And also, always demand to see the superior. Because they would hate for you to go to the higher level to make sure that if anything happens, because all it is, most of the time they don't know what to do, so make sure they go get a superior to come to explain to you. Don't tell them, just make sure you tell them to go see the superior. Then make sure you bring them to us so we can see who the superior is. And always insist on your right to do whatever you're doing. Tell them it's all right and we are here, we're not going anywhere. Most of the time people say, okay, we are here, and they leave, which everything, the whole movement just meant. So always keep insisting on your rights. Tactics: facing trouble, isolate, and converse if possible while marching goes fast. In case of violence, isolate and separate. We had an incident where when we got down there was a motorcycle stopped by there. They kind of didn't want to move. They kind of didn't want to turn around. So it was another female that got into a confrontation, which led up to a whole big commotion. Just make sure if that is going to happen, make sure we separate. Make sure we either move that person away or keep them in the back, so it won't get any farther than what it is. and never touch a police officer. Never touch a police officer. And prime example, when we shut down the bridge, City, but she didn't wanna listen, she wanna get up on the officer's face, put her hands on him. Next thing you seen, the officer was coming out, she swung and boom, all the officer was on her. Which, she had another charge, dagger on the knee. And another thing I forgot to mention is, most of the time people just wanna demonstrate because it's national, so they wanna keep up with what other people are doing without any demands. So always have a demand of why we coming here 300, 400 people together. Always have demands. That's number one. And also location matter. You also wanna have a location where people could also, it's easy for people to meet. Either most of the time people don't have cars, so you wanna make sure they can get there either walking or riding a bus. Contact. Always have a contact. I know Saturday, I know most people didn't know who was leading the movement, who was setting up the event. So a lot of people was kind of confused of who the contact person was. So always have an immediate contact information to that whoever hosts the event, lawyers, or anybody that's able to give you legal advice. Those three things, always keep that in mind. And you also want to bring signs, that's a way to create our own propaganda. Just have colorful signs, flags, or whatever you can bring, drums. That's important.
Sign on the bottom.
Oh yeah. And hashtags are very important. What a hashtag does is it keep that story going, whichever, if he posts blah 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 this, hashtag that, we can always follow that up. That's also a way to keep record of events, of places, pictures, videos, whatever conversation or interaction that's going on with the hashtag. They could always follow that, so they stay on topic. And that's it. So whenever there's a confrontation or anything that kind of got out of hand, they'll put their arms up and they start swinging it. So whoever is swinging it, that they pay attention to that. Always have bright colors on that distinguish you from everybody else. Like when we was in Baton Rouge, we had hats on, and also like American Empire shirts, which distinguish us from everybody else. Any more questions?
No questions. Good meeting. Hold this, man. Let me say something real quick.
Alright, so this is the sign. Who's never been in a demonstration? Who's never been in a? Alright, so this is one. Shut it down. If you're doing something, the shut down thing. This is the group, if your group, or whatever your group is, their sign. I brought this because I wanted y'all to see. This is almost like a hashtag, but it's a little bit bigger. What took place in Baton Rouge Sunday night. One of the key things is if you're going to do something, make sure that, or if you're going to follow something, make sure you got your legal advice.
That's right.
If you're going to go somewhere. So if you're going to go, let's say, to the mayor's office, we need to find out, when you do a sit-in, what's the legal ramification? You need to know always what the end game is going to be for everybody that's involved. Get a couple of opinions on it. Take it all the way through if you're going to leave it. The other thing is make sure you know who you follow and who you with, and you don't get led to slaughter. We were accused of that. And but the facts of the matter was everyone involved in the Jackson aspect had phone the money on, told me legal representation, everybody bailed out. The worst thing you would get is blocking traffic. Misdemeanor. Really the main reasons you do demonstrations is because you want to keep the attention on whatever that issue is, or several issues. And to get the bite and the bang out of that issue, you do it in front of the press. Because if you you do it at night and no one's seen it, it's just like getting shot by the police, and knowing that they were wrong, but when you don't have a body camera or somebody filming, they just say you reach for the gun. And then they're gonna believe the official side versus your side. So if you're saying, like the 3 that was arrested this weekend here in Jacksonville, they was walking in the street on a closed bridge. Why did they go to jail? You already blocked the bridge off and closed it. You know what I'm saying? So the police presence is gonna be there. This is going on right now, 2016, is not only about the police nationwide. See, we do something in Jacksonville, we have our own issues, we have our own oppression, we have our own murders. Those people, when you go somewhere, or if you do it here, those are the people names that come first. Wherever you at, their names come first. What's the other issue? It's economic issues there, man. Seriously economic issues that's never been addressed. Also the misconduct of public officials, removing money from the black side of town to go pay somebody else or go do something else. So those are issues that we fight. Stay in the press, stay on, don't let go. Don't let up. I don't want to do marches. You do marches, bring your signs, make your noise, have your press release. The press release is important. If you don't have a press release, we can show you press release. Get everybody, every news station. You can Google press release template and follow that template and put it out. Will they show up? You don't know. So what they look for a sensationalism type of title. You know, baby get ate by alligator. You know, protesters burning up bridge today at 3 o'clock. They'll be there. Everybody will be there. You know what I mean? So, but if you just say we're going to be demonstrating for our people's rights, they just call you. They get a quote from you, but if it's depending on who it is, how your relationship is with the press, they'll show up. That's what you want, and it's not to be done beforehand. To me, it's to be done right before you go, because they're tied into the police as well. If it's something that's civil disobedience, the king of it was Martin Luther King, and he got results. Most people don't believe that marching and protesting gets results, and I like to say this to black people. If you eat at a white-owned restaurant and you're not spitting your food and bang across the head or tell you to come through the back door or sit on this side, you can thank them for that. And it wasn't just him, because Huey P. Newton tell you all the revolutions belong to young people. The civil rights movement was young people. When it came to St. Augustine, it was young people. They get beat up, they get nurtured, and then bring in more people. They were trained. This is that type of thing. But our energy here is a little different, because I guess the thing is okay, because you get to ride on the front of the bus and eat at restaurants, the whole nine. It's still the same thing. Nothing's changed over 40, 50 years in this city or in this country. And so that's where it goes. You would have what you call agitators. In this instance, this organization is everything. We're the ones in the legislative aspect.